Hi everyone, it's Farah here from Happy Healthy Smiles. Hope you guys are all well. I'm a dental hygienist trying to provide a lot of hopefully good information. So today we are talking about vaping. Vaping has become extremely popular worldwide. It's $1 billion industry and it is very popular, especially among teenagers. Now, this is a battery-powered device that mimics the act of smoking without the use of tobacco. The electronic device uses this, heats up a liquid, which is the e-liquid or e-juice as it's called, and produces aerosols or vapors. This device was created in 2003 by a man called Han Lik from Beijing, China, a pharmacist, inventor, and smoker. And he was the first one to create a commercially successful e-cigarette. In 2006, it was brought to US or North America and the European markets. And since then, it's become extremely popular. So why is it so popular? So number one reason is a lot of people want to quit smoking and they're switching from tobacco cigarettes to vaping. Another reason is it has a higher dose of nicotine. The cigarette contains about 1.2 milligrams of nicotine, whereas the cartridge for vaping can come from 3 milligrams up to 50 milligrams. So quite a high dose of nicotine available. Another reason is it's very compact, it's discreet, and it's much more socially acceptable, and there's no smell associated with this vaping device. Now, also another reason is people want to try something new, they're just curious of what everybody is using. Another reason is it's perceived as less harmful than cigarettes, and I agree, cigarettes are much more harmful to your overall health. They're for sure cause numerous cancers and health issues. But right now, we don't know the long-term effects of vaping because there's no long-term studies being done right now. Another reason people like vaping is the multiple flavors available. Now, so how does this impact your oral health? Well, that will depend on the amount of substances a person is exposed by vaping. And that's determined by, number one, the battery power. Number two, the type of vaping device. So if it's a Juul, you'll have much more nicotine available. And number three is the settings on that device. So the higher the temperature and the higher power will produce a lot more chemicals. Number four is the type of vaping liquid and the grade and amount of nicotine. So this is really crucial because the e-liquids come a wide variety. There's over 10,000 formulations available right now. And the quality varies quite significantly between these e-liquids. And studies show that there's inaccurate labeling, there's inaccurate amount of nicotine concentrations, and they've even found contaminants in the e-liquids. So it's really important that you get a good quality of e-liquid, a good grade of nicotine. And number five is the frequency. How much are you vaping? Are you doing it hourly? Are you doing it daily or only weekly? So that will also affect your oral health too. Number six is your experience with vaping. So if you're inexperienced, you might not know what you're doing or what you're using. So that might have an effect on the oral health too. So this e-liquid has core components. So it contains propylene glycol and vegetable glycerin. And it may or may not contain nicotine depending on if you are using a nicotine product. And it comes with flavors or without flavors. So how is vaping affecting your oral health? Number one problem is the nicotine. Nicotine has shown to restrict blood flow to your gums and can also affect your mouth's natural ability to fight infection. It also causes a dry mouth, which means more chance of cavities and gingivitis. And it also causes more plaque accumulation, which in turn means more gum irritation and inflammation. And a lot of people have also mentioned that their grinding and clenching has increased during vaping. So please monitor if you are clenching or grinding more and mention it to your dental professional. Now, people say, well, okay, I'm not using nicotine, or I'll stop using nicotine. The problem is the ingredients in the base of the e-liquid. It's the propylene glycol. Studies show it causes also dry mouth, and which leads to more chance again of cavities and gingivitis because it's increasing the bacteria. And also the second ingredient in the base, the vegetable glycerin, is a sticky liquid sweetener, and that is showing that it's causing the bacteria to stick longer on the biting surfaces of the teeth. So on the chewing surfaces in these grooves right in here, the bacteria is sticking and staying longer. So that's definitely a problem. Now, when you're combining it with the flavoring, and the flavoring, remember, is also sweet, that combination is increasing 4 times that stickiness of the bacteria. And this combination is also increasing or doubling the amount of plaque in the mouth. That means there's more chance of demineralization of the enamel. So how can you reduce all the risks, and what can you do? Number 1 is limit nicotine. Reduce the amount of nicotine in your e-cigarette or eliminate it completely. And that will help limit negative effects on your teeth and gums. Number 2 is drink lots of water while you're vaping and after vaping to avoid a dry mouth. Number 3 is avoid energy drinks and soft drinks during vaping. And a lot of teenagers are using these drinks when they vape. And the problem is it just magnifies the whole issue of bacteria, because it's feeding the sugar from the drinks is feeding the bacteria and making it increase. Number 4 is avoid or limit the flavored e-liquid. That will help you. Number 5 is limit or decrease or even avoid vaping if you can. That will really help. Number 6 is brush twice a day and floss, which I always say, whether you're vaping or not, minimum brushing twice a day, and make sure it's a really good brushing, and go for a good checkup and cleaning, and that's really good for your overall long-term oral health. And speaking of long-term, just remember right now there are no long-term studies showing what really vaping is doing to your overall health and your oral health. So just keep that in mind. So I hope these tips help. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them. And hopefully I'll see you soon. You take care, and don't forget to subscribe and like. Bye.